setting short-term goals for these fresh graduates. So, right now, if you look at colleges or graduates per se, right, their short-term goal is to get a salary of 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. That is the only short-term goal. But that looks a very, very, kind of high-level thinking, but doesn't, get into the nitty-gritties. And for them to help set a goal, I wanted to ask you, I wanted to understand what should be the short term career goals for a new graduate entering into the job market? What is a nice way to start off?
See, I mean, obviously, if you look at short term, I'll probably look at a couple of years as what is short term, right? Okay.
Okay.
Like we talked about it, 2 years and a 20 years career is 10%. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So I think see, actually, recently there was a post by one of my colleagues from yesteryears, right? Shashank Sinha. Okay. He was a campus recruit in 2007 in
Mm-hmm.
Aztec, right? And he had posted the fact is how important the first job is. Okay. Right. In your first job, I mean, like the choice of the job. Okay, and how do you kind of spend your time in the first job? Because to a large extent, is going to define how you build your professional career. Okay, what do you learn from it? So I think the aspect in a short-term perspective, I think the first 2 years, which you right, is about learning as much as possible. And I mean, obviously, in our profession, learning is a constant process. You continue to learn every day, right? But the fact is, if you learn skills about how to do your job well, okay, because at the see, all of you come in, all of you are at the pretty much the same starting point. Okay, you may, and in a good organization, typically the people that you work with are also equally well distributed, right? It's not that some team is good or some team is bad or some lead is great, some lead is thing, right? Okay. So what comes in is how do you kind of spend a lot of time learning. Okay, don't end up being a 9 to 5 person. Okay,
Got it.
first thing is because typically that is also this thing. You also and incidentally in many places you still have a lot of time in your hand. So you should then learn other aspects which makes you better at your part. Colleges will teach you a lot of skills, but they will not teach you practical skills, right? The second aspect is about depending on your profile, right? Personality. If you think about engineering students, okay, I mean, I'm sure they are a lot more better now than we used to be earlier. But mostly the word used is geek and nerd, very introvert.
Got it.
So they don't have typically the social or life skills to be able to articulate their ideas, thoughts, and all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so there is always this combination of substance and form. I mean, you need to have substance, but at the same time, you also need to have form to present it effectively.
Got
So I would look at these two things, learn as much as possible. Okay. Leverage the opportunity because at the end of your first year, okay, which might still be largely because it's typically 6 months of, I mean, I feel like at our place, right? People come in July. Okay. 3 months of intensive training.
it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, technical skills, soft skills, behavioral aspects, right? Which means that literally you get another 6 months of work experience. 3 months after the first 3 months on training, another 3 months on the job, on the team that you're assigned to, you're kind of getting to know what to do. Okay. And by the time you come into the last 3 months of the financial year, you're at the appraisal cycle. So there will not be too much of variance in terms of your grading, right? But the second year, at the end of 9 months, there's already clearly there are people who are seen as being more capable, okay, who get slightly more complex tasks to do, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and there are people who are said, okay, this guy needs a lot more work. So which is where it is. So the what typically starts happening, the differentiation starts happening in the second year of employment, and that then sets your career objectives within the organization. Okay, right. So I think that is where maximize the opportunity in hand. Work hard, learn, and then after definitely have build your other aspects of life saving skills. Okay, and then also have fun.